I'm gonna go ahead and explain it like I usually do. There was a Mike or Michael, and he's walking down a long hallway. But I feel that's something to do with hall, like the name hall. I'm gonna keep going with this. It shows him after he's passed and he's at peace. He's got this blue light around him. He's really pretty. Like, it's a very pretty sight. And it shows him holding this baby, and he's looking down at this little boy and he's smiling. And then it shows him have another baby, but they kind of look the same. And he's looking, and then they get passed on, which means that they were able to go to Earth pretty much, and he got to hold the baby before anyone else did. Okay, if that makes sense. I have that a lot, to where they get to say, I held the baby first, or and it's true. I've had it over and over and over. It's important for you to understand that, especially people say, oh, I wish that, my grandpa could have seen Isaac, or, whatever. They did. They got to hold that baby and love on them before you did. I've had it too many times for it not to be true. So I feel that there was like a baby or two babies, or around that, for sure a baby that was able to be passed down. And so he needs them to know that he held the baby or babies. The reason why I say babies, because I see two of them he's holding with hands. He's talking about one of the babies was named after him. So yes, okay. This is making sense. Okay. Okay. Okay, I want to explain. So he's up there and he's passed. He's smiling really, really big, and it shows him holding this baby. But then I see two of them, so I'm not for sure with that. But I do see one for sure, and he's looking, and then he smiles really, really big, and he kind of laughs, and he passes them down. So just know that that he got to hold these babies before anyone else did. And he's talking about the baby's named after him, and he's got like a really big head about this. He's really happy about this. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Perfect. Okay, this is just showing past memories. It probably didn't happen this way, but this is how he shows me stuff. Shows him looking in a mirror, like him being alive, and it shows him sweating really bad and losing weight, and he was really, really sick. He says, you don't understand, I was so sick. He said, I tried though, I really did. So please know that he wanted to be there. He tried, but he's okay now. No more sickness, okay? He's happy, he's smiling, he's strong, okay? So he wants you to understand of how happy he is now and at peace, and he's not hurting or anything like that. He's healed. While connecting with him, I can hear the babies goo. So I can hear them really gooing and stuff like that. And he actually has played with the babies. So know that, that he does. Like when the babies look up and stuff like that, they really do see angels, because they play with him. He watches over. I'm going to continue to keep saying babies.
Yeah, because they're twins.
They're twins. Okay. Okay, so just know that he watches over them, okay? He's outside now, okay? I don't know why I keep seeing a fish. So the fish is getting brought up, okay? Fish, I don't know why I keep seeing that, but the fish is getting brought up. There is somebody coming up. Hold on, there is somebody coming. And he's crunching on something, and he's got a hammer in his hand, and it's like G.
That's his brother.
Okay. He's crunching on something. I see March and flowers with him, but he's like, no flowers, please. So the G. He's showing me March with flowers, but he keeps pointing at me. Okay. My real name is Sarah. I go by Angel Lee. But he's like, Sarah's with us, so I know he's not talking about me. But he is talking about someone by the name of Sarah, because he keeps pointing at me.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense, Tim.
That makes sense?
Yeah. So, man, enlighten you real quick. I don't know what else you got. You can keep on going, or I can tell you.
Well, I'm almost finished because he's still crunching on something, like loud. He's talking about how she cooks for them. So just know that she's there cooking, Sarah's cooking. So the mic keeps coming up and says, I didn't show my feelings like I should have, but I always know how proud I am. And you gotta keep going, you gotta keep pushing, okay? He's always there and he's gonna lead the way. He tries to, like he sees someone crying and he tries to give them his strength, okay? So just know how proud he is and he watches every step that y'all make. He talks about how sick he was though, and he wants you to understand he don't want y'all to see him like that. He didn't. And so he's okay now, he's healed. He's with G. There is a Sarah there and she's cooking. So just know there is more, but they're not coming up. Like they're kind of quiet right now. But who's to say I couldn't get more? But G is holding like tools. I don't know why, but he's got tools in his hand. Like he's a very loud guy. He's like crunching on something, but he's with him. So just know that they're together, okay? Yeah, he's talking about I'm his brother. But who's George? George, something. There's a George or someone.
George is my dad's dad.
Okay, he's there too. So, okay. That's how they pop him. Is with us. So just know that they're all together, okay? So you just need to know, and the babies, and he's watching over them. He's their guardian angel, okay? So just know that. They're together. They're at peace. What is up with the fish? Who's Fisher?
That's my son.
Fisher. Okay.
Okay, so my dad passed from Kent.
Yeah.
My son was born with craniosynostosis, and right before my dad died, he had to have steel plates, my son Fisher. And everybody in my family kept saying, your dad's waiting to see what's going to happen with Fisher. And I kept saying, my dad ain't going nowhere. And so when my kid was in the hospital having the steel plates put in, my dad was okay. But when he came out, when my son came out, he was in recovery, is when my dad went into the coma. And then he passed. Fisher and my dad, out of my kids, I have 6 kids. And Fisher and my dad were close.
So that makes sense of why he mentions.
When Fisher was born, Fisher's 14 now, well, physically, but when he was born, like I said, he had the craniosynostosis and he had to have a cranial reconstruction. And so we did a blood bank where our family and friends donated blood.
Yeah.
And my dad was the only absolute perfect match for him. So he used to boast, my dad would, he would tell people, he's more Perkins than anything, because my dad was able to straight donate.
Yeah.
Garland would be the brother. It's funny because he was proud to be my dad's brother. My dad had many brothers and sisters, but he was the most proud of my dad for some reason. But he passed in March, Garland did. There wasn't many flowers because we know that wasn't his thing. They have a baby sister named Sarah that passed, but she was a baby, so I'm confused about that part.
Wonder who's the cooking, 'cause
Right,
she's
so,
cooking. So.
But Fish would be Fisher, which is my kid. Hall is my last name, by the way. I just didn't want to say that. And twins, my kid brother, my dad's baby, his youngest. I raised him, and my dad had some regret there, and some regret between him and I with the whole not expressing himself, so that was pretty neat. But he, after my dad passed, him and his wife got pregnant. She didn't want more kids. He did because he wanted a son, and she had a set of twin boys, and one is named after my brother, and one is named after my dad.
Wow. So that makes sense.
Makes
Which is,
sense.
just know that he held the babies, and so it's very important for that. You know, just know that your daddy's okay, and he's very proud of you. He's very, very proud of you. And I'm glad that you come tonight because I know that you had your doubts. So I'm glad that you come tonight. So it's important for them to be able to relay these messages. And just know how proud he is of you. And thank you for your validations. And just know that your daddy's not sick anymore. And now it makes sense of why he's talking about how I'm given the strength. I'm given his strength because your daddy is such a strong man.
Yes. And when you said George, that's their dad.
That's their
That's
dad.
our grandfather.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad I was able to help and give a connection.